Done.
So can you give us any kind of hint of what's coming up for your characters in the new season?
I think the two of us go through a dynamic tightening of the screws this season. The interest that we have in each other gets, I think, nourished and complicated at the same time by the people that are around us. And the show kind of there's a lot more sci-fi coming up this year, which I think we can all agree is a cool thing. More outer space stuff, what's in outer space, what do these aliens look like. I think rather than being peripheral to the story, it's more centered in there's more of an AB storyline than it is just an ABC this year, for me.
Yeah, for Maddie, she's really solidified her position in the green zone and aligned herself with Nolan and what he has in the works and sort of really supporting and getting behind his vision and trying to keep the train on the track, so to speak. But the tables have turned between her and Maddie, or between her and Katie. Maddie is now in much more of a power position, whereas last year Katie, she completely relied on for insulin for Hudson, and emotionally she really relied on her for a lot. And now it's sort of the opposite, where Katie's relying a lot more on Maddie. She's coming to her because of what's happening with Graham. Will is gone, so she's lost all of her children basically, and her husband except for one. And really, Gracie's getting sucked more into this Greatest Day movement, which we'll learn more about in the mythology behind the Greatest Day movement. And
well, you can go ahead and say it. It's her undying love for Nolan and the volcano of passion that he brings to her life, which has been missing, to be honest. So this season you get to see a lot more of that. She doesn't know about it yet, so don't tell her. Did I say that out loud? I did.
Anything new about what the how long will since Maddie now has the youngest, how long will it be before she finds out what's really going on?
I think Maddie, she knows about it, but she's kind of drinking the Kool-Aid. She's being really pragmatic about it, and she's trying not to make waves because this is her meal ticket. And I think things sort of come to head in the 5th episode of the 2nd season, where all the cards are suddenly laid out on the table.
I don't need this. I never needed it at all. Sorry.
Sure, you might dump you now.
Never get these things off.
Everything's RFID written.
Yeah.
Stuck to my hair. Ouch.
Do you need help?
I can
Yes, we'll
the bottom.
I don't know.
You should borrow a pen. Sorry, good. Carry on. Can you poke a hole in it?
So is the insulin now no longer a problem?
The insulin is being provided for because she's in the green zone. So
Genius.
it's not a problem in the sense that she has to find somewhere to get it. It's being given because of her alliance with the occupiers and the hosts. So Nolan and Maddie sort of align themselves with the occupation, and good things come to those that support the transitional movement.
What do you think the people, the audience is more invested nowadays in what is going to happen tomorrow more than what is happening in society today? Because there's a lot of theories talking about dystopian futures and post-apocalyptic futures, or is another nation, a zombie, vampires? What is that?
Well, I think that's a great question. You know, the sky's always been falling, right? So Chicken Little. It's always like that. So, but especially now because of what the future may or may not hold for people. So many displaced people in the world, refugees, and tomorrow is a huge. Today isn't quite as important as tomorrow, because the future in your life may depend on not just what you do today, but how you prepare for what might happen tomorrow. And I think that's always been a draw. It's dramatic.
It's also the consequences of today in tomorrow. Like, what you do today will have a trickle effect of what happens tomorrow. And I think Colony really explores that well, and especially with Will and Katie, and Katie's behavior with the resistance, and now the trickle down, the choices that she made that day, how it's now affecting not just her and her family, but the entire colony, because of a decision that she made, that they made as a group. But and it really puts the resistance. It handcuffs them, but it turns the screws on everybody else.
Can I ask you guys a question though? If you could have one thing happen in season 2, what would it be? Off the top of your head, none of you a deep answer, but if there's something you'd like to see.
More answers than questions.
More answers. That's one of the things called in the promises. More answers.
Another alien faction interrupt.
I mean, like a different alien, like a war over aliens over the property of Earth. I think that's really cool. What about you? You say what?
Yes.
You do. You really do. That's one of the things that's most unlikely to happen. Not to be. I'm not charging it, but once they show you what made Aliens so great in the beginning, the first Alien, you didn't see it really until you just saw pieces. What about you? Great idea.
More aliens and the purpose of.
So the answers. It's more about we want to see what they look like and what do they want. It's basically what I'm getting here.
Yeah.
More aliens. Really?
Yep.
Round the table, solid agree? Okay. Well, I think you guys are in luck if that's what's happening. That's what they're planning. They don't tell us much.
Ladies, just 1 or 2 more questions.
Are we actually going to learn what happened with their son, their missing son? Like, it seems like something is going on with that kid that's been alone for like a year or so.
With Charlie?
Are we gonna see him? Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. The first episode will touch on how the arrival happened, and it sets up where Charlie is and how he kind of got there, and how Will is going to find him. So that's kind of the opening of the season. So that those questions will be answered as well.
More aliens, and what do they look like? What do they want? You got it right here.
Before the season starts, how much do you guys know what's going to happen with your character?
Very little.
Yeah, they talk you through the game plan a little bit. You can ask questions, but they're very. So many people have to agree, and it goes through so many different rewrites that they're very unwilling to part with a lot of information because it may change and it may become of no value. So. The truth is, Carlton said it best. Ryan, you're driving from New Jersey to California. You want to get to California, but you don't know how you're going to get there. One road may be blocked, there may be a snowstorm or something. So they don't quite know how they're going to get where they're going to get, but they know they're going to get there. And I know they have an end point. I do know that. I can't say anymore.